Everyone, my name is Heather Kinsey and welcome to our daily webinars. Today's topic is staying fit while staying put. This was a topic that stemmed from an earlier webinar with one of our guests today, Karen Kirk. She had talked about productivity and managing virtual teams. She's been a host or a guest with us for a couple of times since we've started these daily webinars. And this idea of getting up and staying fit while we're a little bit more sheltered in place stemmed from one of those. So thank you, Karen, for joining us. We have another guest today, Christopher Kirk, who will be demonstrating some of the ideas and concepts and activities that Karen will talk about. So I welcome both Karen and Christopher on our show today. And I know that I've been looking forward to it because I have a tendency to be pretty lazy, even without COVID-19 issues. And so I'm sure I'll learn a lot today. For those of you joining us live, on the right-hand side is a chat function. Feel free to engage with us and join the conversation by typing either an observation or a question in there. And if you are joining us on playback, there is our website, thestrivegroup.com, and you can get future programming or previously recorded sessions or information on how to contact us directly or contact any of our experts directly. The very last slide of today's session will be contact information for both Karen and Christopher if you have any questions for them. But I don't want to take any time away from them, so I am going to nod off and just let Karen take it from here.
Great, thank you, Heather. Good morning, everyone. As Heather noted, Christopher and I are going to be discussing today how to stay fit while staying put and the benefits of the quick 15-minute workout. And in this session, Christopher is going to be giving you two different workouts that you can take away and use. One is strength-based and the other is cardio-based. So I'd like to take just a moment and introduce Christopher. He is the fitness trainer at Planet Fitness in Eagle River. He is also the owner of North Summit Fitness, which is a personal training organization. He's a nationally certified personal trainer and group fitness instructor and is certified in Insanity P90X and TRX.
Thank you, Mom/Karen. So introducing my mom a little bit, she's taught fitness classes for about 35 years. She's currently a group fitness instructor at the Alaska Club, where she's taught kickboxing. She's taught beachbody classes such as P90X, and she also teaches currently a beachbody class called Insanity, which is a HIIT training class. She also, I won't say this about herself, but she's been an athlete most of her life. She does mountain running, and so she knows her stuff when it comes to fitness.
Thank you, Christopher. So this morning, quick overview of what we're going to be doing. I'm going to give just a couple minutes of some introductory information around why we should really be exercising. Then Chris is going to give you he's going to be modeling two different workouts, one again strength focused and the other cardio focused. And then we're going to close out with a couple fitness challenge ideas, if you will. So to start off with, why should we be exercising? Why should we even exercise if we're not interested in weight loss goals or fitness gains? So if those are not your goals, which are traditional goals, but if you're thinking that doesn't really matter to you, why should we exercise? Here's why. Because people, human beings, are built to move. We are not built to sit. We are from the hunter-gatherer society. We are not from the sitter and keyboarder society. It is not healthy for internal systems to remain stationary. Think about if any of you have ever gone camping, hiking, hunting, fishing, if you've ever walked by a stagnant pond. Think about what that pond looks like and how it smells. Then think about if you've ever walked by a clear, cool, running glacial stream and what that looks like. The blood in our body is like that water, and it needs to move, otherwise it becomes stagnant. That's not good for us. Secondly, how does exercise make us feel better? What is it that about exercising can actually impact how it is you feel? Which is actually our next slide. So exercise very quickly helps increases blood flow and oxygen and proteins into our brains. Those three things, blood flow, oxygen, proteins, go into our brains, which improves the brain function. How does that help us with what we're doing on a business level? Because it improves cognitive functioning, learning, processing, memory, that type of thing. Additionally, this blood flow and oxygen to the brain also improves our mood, helps boost our energy, and helps promote better sleep. That's why we feel better. There's the side benefit, additionally, obviously, of, just to name a few, reducing the potential of stroke and heart disease. It lowers blood pressure and cholesterol, and reduces symptoms of depression, anxiety, and that type of thing. Lastly, before I hand the reins over to Christopher, since we're talking about the benefits of the 15-minute workout, will just 15 minutes really make a difference? Yes, Virginia, it will really make a difference. I'm going to give you three. There's hundreds of reasons of how just 15 minutes can make a difference. I'm going to give you three really quickly. One, they've shown that 15 minutes, just 15 minutes of exercise a day can boost your life expectancy for a minimum of 3 years, if not much longer. So it's going to increase your life expectancy. Two, we know that as we age, our mitochondria start to become less efficient, and that's just a molecule in our cells that's used for energy production. Studies have found that people who participate in high-intensity exercise for just 15 minutes a day, after just a 12-week period, which is 3 months, actually have reversed this age-related degeneration. That is amazing. And last of all, cognitive performance. Researchers, again, have found that people who work out just moderate to even vigorous levels for 15 minutes a day afterwards answered questions 50 milliseconds faster than they did before. That's a 14% increase in your cognitive performance. What does that mean? It means, do jumping jacks right before you go into a meeting or give your next presentation. So at this point, I'm going to turn the reins over to Christopher. He's going to be giving you two 15-minute routines. We won't be going through each for 15 minutes. He's going to be giving you the focus points and what you can do for a strength routine, and then one for a cardio routine. So we're going to be dropping the slide deck and pulling him out to do that. So I will now turn it over to Christopher and pull back.
Well, sounds good. Thank you, Mom/Karen. So just like what Karen said, most of what I'm going to be going over is the form for the exercises as well as the protocol. So a lot of what you pay or maybe pay a personal trainer for or your fitness instructor is that direction into how to do the exercises. So that's what I'm going to mainly focus on. I'm going to try and go through it fairly quickly. So if you guys have any questions, you can stop by and ask. So first I'm going to start off with the strength workout. So very simple protocol to follow. It's just 3 exercises that you're going to repeat. One exercise is going to work your lower body. One exercise is going to work your upper body. And last exercise is going to work your core. Just kind of get a total body workout in just 3 exercises. Also, it's very easy and convenient for you to do because it doesn't involve any weights. So first things first, for both of these workouts, you always want to do some form of a warm-up and a cool-down. So a warm-up doesn't have to be anything fancy. It can be any kind of big rhythmic motion. So you can do some arm circles. Yeah.
Christopher, yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have a Frozen video. Just really quickly, Karen, do you have a Frozen video for Christopher right now?
Chris, can you move?
I'm moving, yep.
Are you moving right now? So you're frozen.
I am.
Okay, so we just have a frozen hiccup here on our web platform. Just really quickly, hey Christopher, I'm going to ask that you just hop over to your phone and turn your camera on and off again. Hopefully, mess up the view of your camera, but that should fix the hiccup. And I apologize for having to interrupt.
No worries.
Gotcha. Let me do that real quick. Okay. Leave the camera. It's back on. How about now? Is everything
Fantastic.
okay?
That is fantastic. Perfect. Now, then before
Good.
you get started, there is a relevant question here for you, Christopher. The question is, how important or useful is stretching for such a small little duration of these exercises? Like, do you have to stretch even though you're only exercising for 15 minutes?
Absolutely. So that is super important. Whether the workout that you're doing is 10 or 15 minutes or 5 minutes or what have you, anytime you're doing a workout, you're shortening those muscle fibers. So if I do a 10 or 15-minute workout every day and I never stretch, those muscle fibers are going to constantly shrink and shrink and shrink. And I'm going to develop strength at a shorter muscle length, which is going to be inefficient. So ideally, when you stretch, you pull those muscles back to their normal length, and you improve your strength at your normal flexibility. So yeah, absolutely. That's a really great question, though. Really great question.
And thank you for answering it. All right.
Yeah, is the video okay still? Just to double check. Yeah?
It is perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay, absolutely. Sounds good. So like I was saying, the warm-up can be something very basic. So you do arm circles to warm up those arms, maybe some rotational twists, maybe just lift up your legs and move them. Really, it doesn't need to be anything fancy, just so long as you're moving your body for about 2 or 3 minutes. Following that, get some water, take a short break. I'll go into the strength workout first to start. So strength workout, first exercise, it's a squat with an overhead reach. So give you guys a side profile here. Biggest thing to note in a squat, you never want to bend into your squat. So don't drop your knees into it. Think like you're sitting in a chair. Hips go back and sit down. Push through the heels, stand up, take your arms overhead. Back down, arms overhead. Do that for 45 seconds. The main reason why I don't have a specific rep count for you to do is because everyone's body is differently. So make sure you just do it for 45 seconds. After that, you're going to transition to a push-up. So I'm going to show you guys kind of how to do a push-up on the wall here real quick. So once your hands about shoulder width apart, you can do it on the wall as well. You don't have to do it on the floor. I know sometimes that's harder. Come to the wall, drop the elbows straight back, and push. Biggest thing to note in a push-up, you don't want your lower back to arc. So round your back towards the ceiling. Make sure there's a straight line between your shoulders, your hips, and your ankles. That's the push-up. Do that for 45 seconds as well. Last exercise is something called a C-sit pulse. So you're going to be sitting on the floor, feet off the ground, leaning back a little bit, and you're just going to pulse between there. So I don't know if I'll be able to show you on my camera. If not, I'll just kind of simulate it standing up. But if you guys can see me down here, I'm not sure if you can. I'm going to rock back a little bit and pull up. Rock back, pull up. Showing you from standing, I'm sitting on my butt. Have one leg up in the air. Imagine my other one's up in the air and I'm floating. Lean back, pull up. Lean back, pull up. 45 seconds, then you take a 45-second rest. After that, that's 3 minutes long. To make that a full workout, you just repeat that whole cycle 3 or 4 times, and you're there. Lastly, really quickly, the cardio workout. So that one we just went over again with strength. It's whole body workout. Cardio workout, it's going to be 20 seconds of work per exercise, then 10 seconds of rest. Main thing to note, that 20 seconds of work that you do, you're working as hard as you can for that 20 seconds. Take a 10-second rest, do that one more time. So I'm going to go through that. First exercise is a high knee or a march. So you can either run with this motion or just step it out. 20 seconds as fast as you can go. Take a break. 10 seconds. Go into it for 20 more seconds. 10 seconds, take a break. That's your first exercise. Once again, high knees or marches. Following that, you have a lateral jump or a lateral step. Same protocol. 20 seconds of work, either stepping or jumping. You choose which one. 20 seconds, 10-second break. Again, 20 seconds of those lateral jumps, 10-second break. Last exercise that you guys have, it's a high plank walk. So you're in a push-up position on the floor right here. You're going to step out once and step back once. And that's it. Step out, Step out. 20 seconds, take your 10-second break right there on the floor, relax. 20 seconds again, 10-second break, then you get a longer rest. Then you repeat that all from the top. So one more time, we'll go through each exercise. Do those high knee marches, do those lateral jumps, and lastly, you have those high plank walks. Biggest thing to note, because I can't give you guys every single modification for all those exercises really quickly. If you find one of those exercises too hard, good modification is to reduce the range of motion of the exercise. So maybe going back to those squats, if you can't get all the way down, that's just fine. Don't go down so far. Reduce the range of motion. Okay? Maybe if you, again, can't do those push-ups on the floor, reduce the depth, find a wall, do them on the wall. Okay? Also, if it's too easy, you can make it a little bit harder by going lower in the squat. Yep.
Sorry to interrupt. I thought it was a good time.
Sorry, did I?
Wrong. No, it's my fault. So we have a question from one of our viewers. He or she sits on one of those balls, so not a regular chair, but one of those, my kids used to call them bouncy balls at work. But the viewer is asking, what are some specific things that you could do while sitting on one of those balls to at least sort of keep your muscles active while you're working?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm thinking that they're mentioning an exercise ball, but which is like a really big round ball. If they need something else, let me know. I'll be happy to give some options for that as well.
I think that is exactly what they're
exercise ball. Perfect. Okay. Yep. So if you're just sitting on that ball, something you can do, and this is going to sound silly, but it does do work, is you can change the positioning of your feet. So you can also change the positioning of your hips. So what I mean by that is if you're sitting on the ball and you're just, doing your work at the computer or what have you, maybe change it so you have one foot on the floor. It's going to be a harder point of stability for your body, and it's going to work that leg. Just make sure you also do the same thing for the other leg so that both sides get even amount of work. You can also sit a little bit farther back on the ball. It's going to be harder to balance. Maybe sit a little bit farther forward. Another thing you can do like a squat pulse, where sit your butt into the exercise ball, and then push up through your heels, and sit down, push up through your heels. Just do that for maybe 30 seconds, and relax, and go back to doing what you're doing. So that's just a couple of things you can do.
Got it. Yeah. And so another.
I think that was the gist of the.
I think we lost Christopher. So another question, and again, at least for me, you're frozen again. And it could just be that we're struggling with because we've got a lot going on in this one little call. But we have another question, and that is someone from a stand-up desk. So if someone has a stand-up desk, is there anything you can recommend that he or she could do while working that would be easy from his or her stand-up desk?
So I'm not sure if...
Absolutely, yeah. So stand-up desk, by the way. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. You're good.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, stand-up desk, that's a really, really great question. Simply using a stand-up desk is actually a lot, I don't want to say healthier, but it has a lot of benefits as opposed to the seated one. So simply just using that is great, first off. But something else you can do, going off that same protocol that you did with the exercise ball, just stand on one leg. Engages a lot more muscles in your leg. It involves your mind as well. You got to really focus on balancing. Make sure you do the same on each side as well. Also following that principle, if you're doing a single leg exercise, going back to the cardio workout, you can do some marches or maybe some hip openers if you want to work on some flexibility. So hip opener, you lift your knee up and you open out to the side. So that works on some flexibility as well as a little bit of strength in your hip flexors, which are those muscles that help you lift up your leg. You can also do, because most of these muscles in us are weak, you can do some what's called hip abduction. If you're standing at your desk, lift your leg straight out to the side and switch. thing as far as you can with that range of motion. That's another one you can do to strengthen those muscles in your hips. So yeah, that's a great question, Noah. Great question.
Fantastic.
Cool.
So,
Yeah,
Christopher, we have just a few more minutes before we are going to be ready to close out. And I actually have a, whoop, did I lose you? I had a piece that I wanted to toggle on with when it was asked in the beginning, is warming up very important? And I think that it's absolutely mandatory, whether you're doing 10 to 15 minutes of workout or an hour and a half of workout, that you do warm up. But the question was around, I heard stretching. So as a quick cue, before you do any kind of workout, 15 minutes or an hour, you do want to warm up. But that warm up should be focused on large muscle groups warming up. So you want to think about jogging in place, doing high knees, doing side to side stepping. But the objective of the warm up is to get the blood moving. It is not to stretch. Stretching is what, as Christopher was identifying, what you use at the end of a workout. So at the beginning of a workout, you want large muscle movements, light jogs, high knees, jump on an exercise bike, gently move, and you want to be doing that for 6 to 10 minutes to warm up the bodies, just to get the blood flow moving. Then you go into your workout, and in your cool down section, which a lot of us tend to skip, that's when you want to stretch, and that's where you'll be getting the benefit of what Christopher was referencing with elongating those muscles and not creating the short, small, tight muscle that isn't as strong as one that has been elongated. So to finish off for Christopher and I today, we wanted to encourage everyone to take a bit of a challenge, if you will. And I'd like to talk very briefly about a personal challenge and potentially a professional challenge. Personal challenge, try 10 days. Try the 15-minute workout, either with the protocol that Christopher was giving you on a strength and cardio. You could do strength one day, cardio the next day. You do want to toggle your days when you're doing a strength workout. You don't want to do 5 or 6 days of strength workouts right on top of each other. So you might do a strength workout Monday, cardio workout Tuesday, strength workout Wednesday, etc. But we encourage you to try this for 10 days. 15 minutes of exercise for 10 days. At the beginning of the 10-day challenge, assess, give yourself a bit of an assessment. Look at what is your current mental, physical, and emotional well-being, because exercise impacts all three. Identify each of those on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low, 10 being high, and then do your workout, 15 minutes a day for 10 days. And at the end of that, reassess physical, mental, emotional well-being. Did you move the needle by even a micro movement? Because if you did, you're definitely getting a benefit. Second suggestion would be a bit of a team challenge in your workplace. You could create teams by departments and have departments look to compete, if you will, against each other, or you could do some cross-departmental teams and have individuals choose their own team members. There's multiple options to do this, and I think it's fun to focus on something, give us all something to talk about besides COVID right now. So you could do, say, a 100-day fitness challenge over the summer. It's about a 3-month period. You could do a 100-mile run walk over a month, meaning if you have a team of individuals, they will all submit, they'll all track their mileage, and you're looking at how quickly each team can work to get to that 100-mile run or walk mark. You could do a 1,000-mile over a month with a bike. You could do it with an exercise like squats. Christopher was showing a squat exercise. You could get a team of individuals and see which team can reach their mark of 5,000 squats, maybe in a month. Or if individuals have the step counters on, some people have step counters on their watch or on their phone, you could get a team of individuals together and compete against each other to see in a month which team could meet the 1 million step mark, which I know that sounds huge, but the reality is we take a lot of steps per day, or we should be taking a lot of steps per day. And because now we're spending so much time sitting and we're not even walking into work and out of work as we used to, and our homes may be smaller than our office buildings, so our amount of steps are decreasing from normal. So that might be a challenge as well. So to set up your own team challenge is pretty simple. You identify what type of teams. Are you going to be doing departmental teams, or are individuals going to be choosing their team members? Do you have an even number on each team? 2, you identify the activity that you'll be competing against. You identify the start and the end date, if it's a month long or if it's over the summer, and then you identify a recognition and reward at the end of that. I know I speak for Christopher as well as myself that we fully believe that your brain will thank you, your body will thank you, your heart will thank you, and you will indeed feel better. So we thank you for jumping in today, and I'm going to turn the reins back over to Miss Heather.
That was a play on words, by the way. You said, thank you for jumping in today.
Oh, yay!
I like that.
I love the idea of a team challenge, Karen and Christopher, and I'm not one to exercise. I do stay fairly active with regular things, but I'm not one to go to the gym or to go for a run or whatever. And going for a bike ride with my kid is about all I do in the spring and in the summer. But anyway, I love the idea of a team challenge. You know, when a couple of years ago I was doing planks. I don't know why, it just started as a thing, and so I started like planking in weird places, and everybody was like, plank today, and I really worked up quite a thing. I certainly wasn't a plank, world champion by any means, but I became sort of known for it around the office. Like, hey, drop and give me 60 seconds, and planking in weird places. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I really appreciate you two coming. I wish that we kind of had more time and maybe, better visuals, and we could, practice, I'm channeling my, what was it, the Susan Summers with the Thigh Master, or showing my age clearly by saying stuff like that. But anyway, I thank you all for joining us. I'll advance it to your slides and let you talk a little bit more about yourselves. But if you're joining us, know that I'm Heather Kinsey. I'm with the Strive Group. You can visit our website for future programming, or you can contact us at info@thestrivegroup.com. I urge you to take Karen and Christopher's advice and stay active while you're staying positive as we get through these challenging times and trying to figure out what our new work environments are going to look like. So many thanks to Karen Kirk and Christopher Kirk. This is some information about them, but I'll let them say their own goodbyes, and I'll go ahead and toggle off so I'm not competing for bandwidth. All right, goodbye, everybody.
Thank you, Heather. Christopher, I'll let you go ahead and say your goodbye, and then I'll close out.
Sounds good. Well, thank you guys for tuning in today. And again, apologies on my end for the technical difficulties, but I appreciate you guys' patience. So just going back to what my mom/Karen was saying, it really is important to do some physical activity every day if you can. Not only will your body thank you, but you will thank you. You'll feel better. It's just a great routine to start. If you're at all interested in anything fitness related, really getting off towards a bigger goal or whatnot, you can find me at North Summit Fitness. That's the company my mom talked about at the beginning that I own, as well as if you're out here in Eagle River in Alaska, I am the fitness instructor for the Planet Fitness. When we do open back up, you can always come in and say hi and try out some workouts and all that. But it's been a genuine pleasure, and I will turn it over to my mom/Karen.
Thank you, Christopher. I do want to commend Christopher for working well through those challenges with the technical difficulties that we had. He was fully prepared to be doing some work on the floor and had to do some quick adjustment midway. So I recognize that can be challenging in the middle, and I appreciate any and all of you who tuned in, recognizing that sometimes you have to work on the fly with the technical issues that you have. But thank you again for all of you that did tune in. I hope you are taking care of yourselves and being as patient as we can all be in this environment. Our main focus today was to encourage you to move. And it doesn't have to be at a high level of intensity for 15 minutes, but maybe try to commit to just moving for 15 minutes every day. And I'm not going to say the hope is that you will feel better, because I genuinely believe that you will. So take care, everyone, and we will look forward to seeing you potentially on a future broadcast. Closing out.